But the things that she probably won't tell you is that they didn't have an address. And I can't imagine my dad even processing this, because he was such a detailed kind of guy. And I'm thinking when Mom said, we're going to go to Cincinnati and we're going to check into every pharmacy or drugstore in Cincinnati until I find the druggist that knows the name of this lady and this special medication that she was on. And I'm thinking my dad must be just thinking, what have you been smoking? You know. At any rate, they did that. And the other part of the story that I think is remarkable is that Mom doesn't talk about, but I think is special, was this critically wounded airman that we don't know the surname of any longer, also had a child. When Mom went to visit the widow and meet the widow, there was a 6-month-old little girl. And we also know from the story that this, unfortunately, this critically wounded airman never saw his child. So that's the pieces that I'd like to fill in. Thank you.
In the Army, the Canadians said, "Thank you, but you're married. We don't take married women." She knew that by talking to the Red Cross, she could get into the Army. So she came down from Canada, and when she first talked with the chief nurse, told her that she wanted to be deployed, as we would say today, "I want to go to the front." So about 2 weeks later, she was on a boat and on her way. She didn't go to any officer basic, she didn't go to any training. They said, "Oh, you're a surgical nurse, you have 4 years of experience at the Mayo Clinic, oh, you're on the boat." And off she went. But I wonder if she will share when she's up here with us what her reaction was when she landed in northern England to discover that she was going to be able to celebrate her 4th wedding anniversary with her husband, who just happened to be in that part of England when she arrived. She served with 155th General Hospital and was with them for about 18 months before she came back to the U.S. I don't think there's a better way to hear a story than from the person whose story it is. And I know that we all love stories. So, Lieutenant Hilda Cann, I'm going to say this correctly, would you please come up and tell your story?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on and tell your story.
Yeah, I will. I just want to tell how the tablecloth originated. I had a critically ill soldier on my hospital in England, and he was paralyzed from the neck down. And he said to me one day, "I know I'm not going to live very long, but I want you to promise me something." And I said, "Well, I can't promise you if I don't know what you're going to ask me. I might not be able to do it." He said, "Oh, you can do it all right." I said, "Okay, if you say I can do it, I promise you I'll do it." He said, "I want you to go and see my wife. I know I'm only going to live 2 or 3 days." And he said, "I want you to go and see my wife and tell her I loved her, but I couldn't come home." So I said, "I promise." So after he died, I went to the hospital and I told them that I had to go and talk to his wife. So I went to, after he died, I went over to the hospital, and I said that I wanted to talk to his wife. And first, she didn't want to talk to me. She said, I don't want to see anybody in uniform. And I said, I promised your husband that I would come and talk to you, and you have to come out and talk to me. So she came out, and when she came out, she's crying. And by this time, I'm shedding a few tears. And she said, I don't know. She said, what to say to you. And I said, you don't have to say nothing. I just want you to know that I came to tell you that your husband loves you, and he wanted me to tell you that. And so she thanked me very, very much. And so the story, after several months, she sent me this beautiful tablecloth. And she couldn't afford a box of Kleenex. But where she got the tablecloth from, I don't know. Anyway, she sent the tablecloth, and later I went to see her and told her how much I appreciated everything that she had done for me. And when I went to talk about how the tablecloth originated, was her husband was a patient of mine. He was critically ill, paralyzed from here down, and he said, would you promise me? And I said, that depends what you're going to ask me. I might not be able to do it. He said, oh, you can do it all right. I said, okay, if you say I can do it, I promise. So I promised him that I would go and see his wife after he died and tell her how much he loved her. So that's how the tablecloth originated. But the first story was when I got the tablecloth, when I told the story about the tablecloth, and then they wanted me to talk about the patient. I had this patient for about only 2 days, and he was critically ill. And so I promised him I would go and talk to his wife, which I did. The story about the tablecloth is that I was with him for
That's good, Mom.
only 2 days. Okay?
Yep.
And let's take you over here so we can unveil the tablecloth.
Okay.
At this time, on behalf of the foundation, we have a gift for Hilda, and that is a copy of her registration as a member here for her American Nurse Corps performance in World War II and a membership pin that she can wear proudly. And there's your registration.
And you all must see it because it's a picture of Hilda and her husband, Mary.
And here is your membership. And Hilda, you will always be young and beautiful here at the memorial.
Hilda, there's one other presentation for you, and it's from the Canadian military, and it's a special coin that we had minted a while ago, and it says on one side, Canadians and Americans, partners in defense, and with a Canadian maple leaf, and on the other side, it has a black maple leaf with a gold star in the middle, and it says, honor our fallen and wounded, and it also says Americans and Canadians, partners in defense, and it's to honor all that we've lost and who have been wounded overseas. And we've only made 750 of these, Mrs. Cann, and number 1 and number 750 of these coins are at the Tomb of the Unknown right now. They were presented there on Remembrance Day last year. All the sentinels at the Tomb of the Unknown have this coin in their possession, and they're all numbered, and we're going to give you number 102.
Wow. And the Army Nurse Corps also has a gift.
Mrs. Cann and her family, on behalf of Major General Horoho, our Deputy Surgeon General and the current Chief of the Army Nurse Corps, we wanted to give you a token to honor your service and for all that you've done as a member of the Army Nurse Corps and a member of our history. And we also have a coin that's a tradition in the Army to give coins to those who have done well. And the current motto of the Army Nurse Corps talks about embracing the past, engaging the present, and envisioning the future. And as part of our proud tradition and our proud past, we wanted to present you with this coin on behalf of General Horoho and all of the Army nurses, past and present, and future.
To honor Hilda and her service and to honor life that we enjoy, we would like to ask Becky Campbell, our Highland dancer, and our pipes and drums to perform for you right now.